We flash back to December 13th, 2009 at the PBA World Championship in Wichita, Kansas, and Tom Smallwood celebrating his first PBA Tour title. Just happened to be a major with a 244-228 victory over Wes Smollett. A moment that many of us won't soon forget. I still, in all honesty, really get some goosebumps when I think about that moment. And here's Smallwood back on the wood here. Match number 2 today of the GEICO Shark Championship as the 3 seed takes on Jason Belmonte. Really was a great moment, not just in bowling, but in sports overall that season, I felt.
It was a real heartfelt story, and it was really hard not to root for him. Again, taking a look at just how deep Jason Belmonte is playing. But remember, it's a fine line. If he gets it too far to the right, it's going to hang. If he gets it going too much up the lane, it goes to the nose just like that.
Going after the 3-6. Taking care of it. And here is Tom Smallwood.
The number 3 qualifier is the defending PBA World Champion from Saginaw, Michigan, Tom Smallwood.
3rd year on the tour, just 1 career title. We showed it to you just moments ago. Made 3 telecasts last season, 2 singles and 1 mixed doubles. By far the slowest and lowest rev rate guy on today's show. Is that fair to say?
Definitely the slowest speed, rev rate. Yeah, I think that's a fair statement. And Tom Smallwood has got a lot of revolutions. I mean, he's definitely well above the tour average.
So both competitors start with a spare as we take a look at Tom's arsenal this afternoon.
Well, he only brought 3 bowling balls out with him. Instead, he decided no wicked siege, no damage, so I'm going to go with the avalanche slide. And as you can see there, it's the least amount of hook on that hook rating.
Very violent sounding names to these bowling balls that Tom came up with. Nothing, you know, kind of feel-goody Barney-esque out there.
Oh, yeah. It's his company that came up with those names.
They're there to inflict damage, I understand.
Absolutely.
A unique grip here by Smallwood. Staring briefly at a 7-10.
Tom Smallwood, a little unusual grip in that he only puts his thumb in about halfway and just kind of rolls that bowling ball up on his forearm. But notice the great position and balance of the foul line.
You would think as that ball rolls up the forearm, you'd lose kind of some control and stability with it, but the way he has it, it's kind of locked in.
Yeah, he's obviously done it for a while. He's got great feel doing that, but he just kind of rolls it back up onto that forearm and then just uncups it at the point of release. Belmonte does a lot of the same, except he doesn't use a thumb and uses his left hand to support the bowling ball as well.
Still no strikes here in the early stages of match 2. Two spares for both Belmonte and Smallwood. Belmo last season, 3 shows, 0 victories, twice a runner-up.
And Rob, I think we're going to see some airtime very shortly.
Air time, hang time, loft time equals fun time on the bowling lanes. And there we go. The strike train is in business.
And it's only going to get better.
There is Tom Smallwood hunting for a win here and a berth in today's semifinals. When we check back in, we'll learn about Tom's passion for outdoor activities. Coverage of the Shark Championship from South Point Bowling Center rolls on while we're away in match 2. Jason Belmonte in frame number 4 on the right lane, a little loft, a great result. And the 5th doesn't quite get a strike, Randy.
It should have been.
Left the 7. Tom Smallwood having some issues.
Yeah, he's having some problems getting lined up here in the 3rd frame. He goes high, leaves himself an easy spare, however. 4th frame, tries to make an adjustment, misses it at the bottom, goes light, leaves a washout. Open frame, comes back in the 5th. Pretty good shot here. In fact, it's perfect. 6th frame now looking to double up. Comes in light once again, leaving an 8-pin. And right now, Tom Smallwood, after 5.5 frames, finds himself trailing by 24.
Talked to Jason the other day about his goals, and he says, I want to come off the lanes and be regarded not just as the two-handed bowler, but as a force out on tour. Wants to be compared to everybody else besides his talent to throw it two-handed. Whoa, loft. Messenger does its job.
I don't know.
How about that thud?
I'll try and do it again.
Now remember the first time we saw him loft it was just a little bit of loft. Oh well, this one, he's going to get a lot more airtime under this one. Check this out. Yeah. Really?
Did a pin fly over the 8-pin?
I don't know. I just saw everything go right by the 8-pin, but he left a pocket 7-pin in the 5th around right on a double. He strikes in the 6th, and then he comes back with this. Check this out. Wow. Looked like the 5-pin that got hit right before it got to the 8-pin and went left of it.
Flawless on single pin spares. The lead at 24 through 6.5. Tom Smallwood asked him about his goals this season. Randy said, I want to make a couple shows. I'd like another win. And then kind of smiled and said, it's pretty fun to hold that trophy on Sunday. It's addictive winning out here, isn't it? Much needed strike, just his 2nd of this match. Tom Smallwood, lethal out here on the bowling lanes. Also does some damage with his outdoor activities.
There's no doubt my one passion, obviously besides my family and my daughter, is hunting. I bow hunt whitetail. That's definitely my passion. That's much rather be in a tree stand than anywhere else in the world. So, in the woods, it's so peaceful. Just having the animals that close to you and not knowing you're there, and it's amazing. My dad brought me up doing it, and there's one thing I'll do the day I die, and there ain't nothing I'd rather do.
I've never shot a bow and arrow, and I think it'll continue that way.
I did once, but it had like a rubber piece on the end.
Did you get that for Christmas?
A long time ago. See, just like that, Rob, all of a sudden now, it's a 24-pin game. Now it's just 14. And Tom Smallwood just kind of hung around. Jason Belmonte's bowled a really strong game and has suffered through bad pin carry the last 2 times on the left lane. Tom Smallwood can still shoot 224. Jason Belmonte is just at 208.
Belmo on that right lane, which has been very tricky for him. Look at him curve around the ball, return the machine, and then drop all 10.
And when he goes to that big loft game, he makes it look stupid easy. And we've seen Robert Smith do that with his thumb in it. But, I mean, he looks like this is... like he's throwing a 6-pound ball down the lane.
Terrible.
258.
Leaves the 2-5-8 at an inopportune time.
That one didn't look like it had near as much airtime, like he missed it at the bottom. And he's left himself with a real tough 2-5-8 spare conversion.
Covers that one well. So he sits down, the lead at 14. But here comes Tom Smallwood, who's found his rhythm. 3 strikes in his last 4 frames, Randy, including the last 2. Trying to string together the first 3-bagger here of match number 2 for either competitor.
Hey, don't look now, but 3 strikes here, 1 in the 9th, 2 in the 10th. Tom Smallwood wins this match.
And there's a look at your 3 seed here at the GEICO Shark Championship. The native of Saginaw, Michigan, Tom Smallwood.
Nope. Terrible. Absolutely terrible.
Never gave it enough room to the right. He knew it immediately, hoping for anything other than a big split. Conversion here, he can strike out for 202. Jason Belmonte is going at a 208 pace. That would be if he were to strike spare in the 10th.
Smallwood spares the 9. And now, a final frame of match number 2. Number 2 seed, Osku Palermaa, 2-handed Finnish bowler, waiting in the wings. We'll see who survives match number 2. It has been a struggle, really, for both of these 2 competitors. Much better.
That was a great shot there. And he knows that a couple more strikes here, anything can happen. He would force Belmonte to get good count in the mark.
4 strikes in this game for Smallwood. Only 2 of them have been paired together. Belmo also with 4 strikes, and again, only 1 pair.
But no open frame for Belmonte.
This one is wide open for Belmo.
Yeah, and Tom Smallwood's kind of caught in between, Rob. A little too far to the right, it hangs, a little too far in, and it has no chance of laying off. A lot of that has to do with the ball speed being a little soft.
And did I hear Smallwood say, "You're welcome," as he walked back to Belmo? So we'll see if Mr. Smallwood's day is done. A 192. And here's your 4 seed, Jason Belmonte. Needs 8 to win. Gets 10, and Belmo moves on to the semifinals.